Hello, and welcome to the EVEEchoChamber. Today, for day 4 of my new player guide, we will be covering mining. I've been playing EVE Online for a long time, but mining was never one of my sins. Nevertheless, for the new players, let's get started. I used to do gas mining with a venture in EVE Online. That was fun. Hopefully they add that to EVEEcho someday. Alright, click the face. Inventory, ship hangar, venture. Kinda want to delete this. Should I just delete it? Wait. I have an idea. Follow your heart. Now, I am not the first person to have this idea. This is a time-honored tradition in EVE Online. But hopefully, I'm one of the first to have the idea in EVEEchos. You were supposed to fit mining lasers on a venture, but I don't have any mining lasers. So instead of teaching you how to mine rocks, I'm going to teach you how to mine miners. Hopefully. And a message from the future: if you want to try this yourself, I strongly recommend you replace the drone damage amplifier with an afterburner, and make sure you fit a stasis web fire. But I will show you in the video that you really should not try this. It is not worth it. Here we are in a LowSec system, warping to our first mining belt. Let's get ourselves some ore. Some people have asked me how I find the systems I go to. Sorry, but this is all because of prior knowledge from EVE Online. I know that this is a LowSec Amar zone because I did Amar faction warfare. And it's on. We got two little buddies here to help us mine, help us get some ore. I'm going to approach the first one, to cuddle up next to him for warmth. Then we have to lock him in case he needs any remote reps, But alas, you are betrayed. Who could have foreseen such a turn of events? What not to do? Mine AFK. But believe it or not, this little miner can teach us something we should do as well. Do orbit the rock. Always be moving. Even though he is AFK, and because I did not fit the afterburner or stasis web fire I told you to fit, it takes me a long time to kill him because he's moving. But I am an elite PvPer, and he falls eventually. Now here's the reason I do not recommend killing ventures with a venture in order to get ore. All ships have a cargo hold, and the venture's is very small at 100 cubic meters. But the venture is special because it has a separate ore hold at 2,500 cubic meters. However, when you're trying to loot a wreck, you cannot move the ore into your ore hold. The only way to get ore into the ore hold is to use mining lasers. The second venture on grid, who may or may not be AFK, warps off before I catch him. If you are a new pilot, I suggest you continue watching, because there will be more do's and don'ts for miners who got away from me. That was the only miner I successfully mined in this video. In addition, at the very end of the video, I'm going to give a brief overview of how to not get killed by Stargate guns and station guns when you have been mining miners like me. Here we are, one system over, warping to another belt, and there's another miner. And now as we approach, the miner immediately warps away. Now in EVE Online, I would say this is a do. Do warp away as soon as you see anything that might hurt you. But in EVEEchos, I think that this was a don't. You should wait until you know something's a threat until you warp away. My opinion is because warp scramblers and disruptors are extremely rare in the game right now, and on top of that, the venture has a bonus to warp stability, meaning your opponent needs more warp disruptors or warp scramblers to keep you here. Now we have found yet another miner, and I think this one does a better job of what I was just talking about, but it might have been because he was AFK and he didn't notice I was there until I started firing. If you have never experienced that feeling you get when you're not paying attention to your phone and suddenly your ship in EVE is being attacked, boy are you in for a treat. And don't be afraid to try it. I think now is probably the safest LowSec is going to be in the life of the game, and you have insurance vouchers if something happens. We have come upon yet another miner. Let's see if he wants to play with us. He actually does make a good fight of it. This was my favorite miner out of the entire roam. Let him serve as an example to all of you lowbies who want to go mine in LowSec. You can do it, you could even fight back, Enhance. Enhance. This is a benefit of recording your gameplay. I normally don't record my gameplay unless I'm making a video, but I was really angry when this happened. But having the chance to go back and watch the footage, he obviously just entered warp when he was at like 30% hull. It's not as close as it looks. It concludes the general minor do's and don'ts. Now I'm going to briefly cover LowSec. It'll only take a few seconds. So when you have that red circle in the middle of your screen, just below your ship and above your health, that is because you attacked somebody, and it's called a criminal timer. If you go to a Stargate in LowSec or a station in LowSec, you will get killed by the gate guns. Don't do that. Instead, change your overview to celestial bodies and just warp back and forth to planets. You can also warp to celestial anomalies. You can warp to anything except stations and stargates. Well, this roam was a lot of fun. You see, I only got very few minerals, only worth about 28,000 ISK, and I spent something like 500,000 just buying the drones and the damage amplifiers for this ship. So yeah, like I told you, not really worth it. This was the last fight that I found before I went to bed, and if the previous fight showed us why we need warp disruptors, this one shows us why we need stasis webifiers and afterburners. He does a great job of controlling range, or just aligning away from me and I can't kill him. He did an excellent job of following all the minor rules, except for the last one, be brave. He should have thrown a drone on me or something, because in case you haven't noticed, my ship has 0 tank. That's it for this video. Now I'm just practicing what I preach, and I'm warping from planet to planet, waiting out my criminal timer. You also don't want to log off with the criminal timer. I don't know for sure how it works in EVEEcho's yet, but just don't do it. Thank you for watching. This has been the EVEEchoChamber. Fly safe, and welcome to New Eden.